Here's a common situation that I see on the message boards. You've uploaded a bunch of designs and you don't feel like you're making enough sales. So the big question is, what's the normal number of sales you should be making? So in this video, I cover some ideas about what's normal, and I also talk about setting expectations of having a hobby versus having a business. They are not the same thing. And I've got a few tips on how you can grow your sales, even if you're just doing this as a hobby for fun. Let's go. Hey there, gang. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to talk about income expectations, and I have to laugh because it feels like we're all getting pulled into the principal's office here. Let's have a talk about expectations. And it certainly doesn't help if you want to feel inferior about your life on Redbubble or Teepublic. It doesn't help that every thumbnail we see on YouTube has some guy in a tuxedo and a bunch of dollar bills floating from the ceiling. Now, this is not me, wish it was, but we're going to talk in this video here about reality versus expectations. And so I think it's important because, we don't have a central database of all the knowledge at Redbubble or Teepublic, Etsy, Merch by Amazon. So we kind of have to, claw our way through this jungle and ask other people and look through message boards. So this is just my experience. And I fully guarantee you my experience is not going to be the same as your experience. And that's okay. But I think it's helpful to get some, different opinions and different perspectives about life. And if you want to put your perspective on what you've had in your print-on-demand journey down in the comment section below, I really think that would be helpful too. So feel free to contribute. Now, here's the reality, okay? If you're typically doing, say, 4 designs a day, some people do stuff every day, some people do stuff every week. Some people, like myself, will go really busy for a 2 or 3 day stretch, and then I'll take like a month off. When I say take a month off, I move to another print-on-demand site and I go work on there for a couple of days. So, I'm not on Redbubble every day, but I'm on some sort of print-on-demand, usually 5 days a week. I look at it like a part-time job. Now, if you're doing 4 designs per day, let's say, on average, that's 30 designs a week, maybe 100 designs a month. Maybe you're doing 10 designs per day. Now, as I throw out these numbers, remember there's a couple thousand people, maybe even tens of thousands of people that will watch this video. And you're immediately looking at that going, wait a minute, I upload way more than 4 designs a day. Or wait a minute, I upload way less than 4 designs a day. That's my point, is everybody's a bit different, right? So the reality is, some people are working on this way more than others. I really think of Redbubble and Teepublic kind of like golf. Have you ever gone golfing with somebody and they just completely kick your butt? Or vice versa, maybe you've golfed with somebody and they're like, man, this guy's terrible. Well, I golf like twice a year. So I'm really awful. I'm the guy over getting bit by the rattlesnake in the woods because I can't find my ball. Whereas I golf with people that are like semi-professional golfers, and they're absolutely, they're wonderful people, but good grief. They completely destroy me. So it's the same thing here with Redbubble, right? The only thing you need to compare yourself to is yourself. And so whether you're uploading 4 designs a day or 10 designs a day or 1 design a week, that's okay. It all comes down to expectations. So imagine yourself, are you the novice golfer or are you the professional golfer? Now we'll get into how to get more sales regardless, but just keep in mind, if you're only uploading to Redbubble 3 designs a week, that's probably not going to give you $1,000 a month in income. So we kind of have to adjust our expectations and go, look, this is a hobby. You may only get 4 designs a day, every day. Let's do the math on this. 4 designs a day, over say 300 days, that's 1,000 designs a year. You might get maybe 10 sales a week, maybe. You've done all this work and you're maybe only going to get 10 sales a week. So you're not going to be getting $5,000 a month. I got a funny story for you. At least I think it's funny anyway. So if you are familiar with the United States and the concept of Black Friday, and look, Black Friday is probably popular all over the world. I live in Canada, so 80% of my culture comes from the US. So really, sales happen Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's that weekend. Well, I had my best day a couple years ago where I sold 100 designs in one day. So I woke up in the morning, I started counting. I just thought, I wonder if I can break 100. And that night, by midnight, I had sold, I think, 102. And so I was pretty excited because I broke the 100 mark. So let me ask you this. What are my expectations now this past year? Would they be 100? Would I be happy if I only sold 98? Now you might be sitting there thinking, if I sold 98 designs in one day, I would like be shouting it from the mountaintops. But there's other people watching this video that go, you only sold 100 in one day and that was the best day you've ever had. Well, this past year, I sold 200 on that same day. It was the actual Black Friday from 7 in the morning until midnight that day. So I had about 18-hour window and I sold 200 designs in one day. Now it wasn't, I want to be clear, it's not all on Redbubble. It was a combination of Redbubble, Teepublic, merch, what are the other ones? Zazzle, Displate. I mean, you go through the, like, I've got a whole bunch of print on demand websites that I've got. I've also got my own website. I've got custom work on the go. So there's a bunch of different stuff, right? But when you add it all up, hey, I had a pretty good day. And it was kind of cool. I celebrated that day by literally just going for a walk and thinking, man, while I go for a walk, I'm making some passive income. Now, I worked all year to get to that point. So, I mean, let's make no mistake. It's not that passive. But my point is, 200 designs by any regular metric is like pretty good. I made about $600 US that day when you factor in all the, an average commission on all the print on demand sites is about $3 or $4. So my goal when I first started out was I thought, man, if I could make like one sale a day, every day, that would be pretty incredible. Now I get disappointed if I make less than 10 sales a day on any one day. So like when January rolls around, I'm grumpy as all get out. My wife just loves me in January because I'm going, oh man, I only sold 8 today. And then the next day it's like, oh, I only sold 9 today. That's a rough day. And she's going, wait a minute, you made $30 US today and you sat on the couch and watched Netflix all day? And it's like, I guess it really comes down to perspective, right? So my point about this is that you have to ask yourself, how much time are you putting in versus the result that you're getting back? And it can be tough to gauge that, right? So ask yourself why you're in the Redbubble game. Are you in the Redbubble game, the Teepublic game, the Merch by Amazon game? Are you in it to make a good, solid income? And if that's the case, then let's be real about that. You've got to put in the time. You've got to get your quality up. You've got to get your tagging correct. You have to look at it like a job. And what I'm seeing is, because I have friends that upload onto Redbubble too, and they're, they get excited because they see my success and they go, oh, I'm going to try it too. And then about a month in, they go, well, I didn't make any sales. And I go, how many designs do you have? 10? Well, what are they? Well, they're funny cat designs. And it's like, oh, dude, like you could go 10 years and never sell a funny cat design. I mean, I think I'm the gold standard of funny cats. I live with 2 funny cats, and even I can't sell funny cat designs. I mean, it's a totally full niche. Anyway, bottom line is here, I've got some examples of 2 different fictitious people. So this first dude, this handsome fellow is Harold Hobby, I'm going to call him, and he's using the hobby strategy. Now, I've coined this term, the push strategy, but it's really a hobby strategy. And what I mean by that when I say a push strategy is that Harold Hobby uploads whatever he wants. He just uploads whatever makes him happy. Could be watercolor designs, flower designs. Maybe he likes zebras. He's going to upload zebras. The idea is he's thinking stuff up and he's pushing it out to the public. And he has no idea if it's going to sell or not. Again, there's nothing wrong with this strategy. I do it myself. I love cat designs, but I have no idea if they're going to sell or not. I make some stuff. I throw it out there. I see what happens. So let's pretend that Harold uploads 10 designs a week. All right. That means over 2 years, 10 designs, 50 weeks a year, 500 a year. That's, he takes 2 weeks off. I mean, he's not a complete maniac. So over the course of 2 years, he uploads 1,000 designs, let's say. All right. Realistically, what can you expect to have for sales? Let me ask you. Okay. Now, this is my opinion only, because I've done exactly this on print on demand sites. Realistically, you can expect to get either 0 sales in a bad week or 20 sales in a good week. And they would range widely between stickers, which is like 11 cents, or they could be like a shower curtain, which is like, I sold a throw pillow once. I think I made 17 US. And I was like, holy moly, that's a pretty good day. So the push strategy, there's nothing wrong with it, but let's set our expectations on it. If people really like your designs, you will make good sales. And if people don't like your designs and you're in a full niche, you're not going to make any sales. So there's no one right answer. You might be looking at this going, well, I do this exact thing and I make 50 sales a week. Wonderful. That just means you're better at the design part than many other people using this push strategy. Here's an example when I mean push strategy. This is an example. So this is off of the biodiversity heritage website, which has beautiful illustrations, vintage illustrations. So let's pretend that I said, you know what, I really like raccoons and squirrels, and I'm just going to make a bunch of designs about raccoons and squirrels. I'll make 200 shirts and coffee mugs with raccoons and squirrels on it. If that's the extent of my thinking, this is push strategy. This is hobby strategy, which is fine. It's not a put down. This might take off. Somebody might go, oh my goodness, look at this little squirrel over here. I love this so much. And I sell 200 shirts in a year. And I go, man, that worked out well. I didn't do niche marketing. I didn't do a bunch of, research in advance. I just got lucky. I threw a dart at the dartboard and it happened to come up with sale. Okay. Now I want to show you an example of a push strategy that really works. Okay. So this is not like if you guys are thinking I'm putting down hobby strategy, I'm absolutely not. I do this strategy. Okay. I do this as a hobby. So here's an example. This person is on Redbubble, and I think they're one of the greatest artists on Redbubble in the entire Redbubble verse. So this artist is called The Latest Kate, and they joined in September 2015. Now they're a featured artist on Redbubble, so I'm not giving away any secrets here. You could look this person up on Redbubble easily, and it's all public facing, but they've got 386 designs. Okay, so that means between 2015 and when I'm recording this video in 2021, that's about 7 years, they've got 386 designs. Now look at these designs. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. They're all hand-drawn designs that are computer colored, digitally colored. They're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this cat in the window is off the charts. So take a look at her profile here. 8,000 followers. Featured artist on Redbubble, 168,000 favorites. And that's off of 386 designs. So my hat's off to The Latest Kate. I literally bow down to this artist and I go, this is the gold standard of what a push strategy would be. And what I mean by push strategy is she just likes making these. It looks like, look, I don't know this person. I've never met this person, but I seriously doubt that this person sat down and said, okay, I'm going to research niche marketing. Okay, candles on the left side are going to work, and this type of font. Yes, over time, you're going to get better at making designs. But if this is the artistic talent that we're dealing with out of the gates, it's no wonder this person has 1 million billion followers. This is gorgeous artwork. She's drawn it all herself. And to top it all off, she's put down some really catchy sayings as well. So this is a beautiful push strategy. Push strategy is awesome if you're a hobby artist. Now, they're making a ton of sales probably, but my point is they didn't do a ton of research in advance. They just made really nice artwork and people went, that's beautiful. Let me buy that. Okay, here's another person. So forget about Harold Hobby for a second. This is Brenda Business. This is our other fictitious example. Now, Brenda uses what we call a pull strategy, or I guess I call a pull strategy. I made this up. And a pull strategy is more of a business strategy. The idea is you're pulling information out of the customers and then you're creating designs to satisfy that demand. So we don't know what Brenda likes to make. In fact, it's completely irrelevant. Brenda uploads 10 designs a week, and they're all based on what she thinks customers want. They're not based on what she likes to make. So she uploads 10 designs a week, same deal. So in 2 years, she uploads 1,000 designs. So let me ask you, how many designs do you think she sells a week? Now, you'd probably think, oh, she's going to sell 100 a week or 300 a week. Probably not. Realistically, she's going to sell between 1 and 10 sales per week. Now, compared to Harold, she's got a more consistent base. She's probably not going to sell 0, and she's probably not going to sell 1 million billion unless she gets lucky and finds a niche that's so underutilized that she's just cranking out sales. And that can happen. So here, Brenda Business has got a pull strategy. Okay, so here's an example that I want to show you real life of a pull strategy. If you're wondering, okay, enough with the Harold and enough with the Brenda, show me a real life example here. The real life example on Redbubble of a pull strategy would be this. Here's a niche. I don't wake up in the morning thinking I want to make deaf mom t-shirts. That's not my passion. However, somebody out there wants t-shirts that speak to them. And what they are is they have a mom who has hearing impairment. And that is niche marketing, just in a nutshell. And you can get way more complicated on it, but that's in a nutshell niche marketing. So this is the pull strategy. You're going, okay, I think there's an opportunity here. Now, let's go back to my favorite artist on Redbubble, the latest, Kate. She's got these beautiful illustrations. But here's the pull piece. Now, I'm completely guessing at this, by the way. But imagine, for example, if she didn't put in the uplifting sayings. Imagine if it was just beautiful illustrations. So here's an example. It's just two gorgeous foxes snuggling in the hay, and there you go. That's good. That's a push. She goes, I like drawing foxes. I push it out into the world. We'll see if anybody buys it. Here's the pull. The pull is, at some point, she probably realized that putting an uplifting message on the design is going to help her increase sales. That's pull strategy. So this, to me, is the greatest example of both working in tandem. The push strategy is a style of art that she likes to make, and the pull strategy is matching it up in niches that have clients that need something. So you might be asking yourself, okay, fine, I'm not going to abandon my family and work 80 hours a week to grow my business, and I'm not going to quit my job and get in a bunker for the next 3 years and just upload designs. I'm going to be doing this as a hobby. So how can I grow my sales over time, even though I'm just the hobby guy? And so I've got 3 quick tips. Now, I've got way more videos that talk about these in way more detail, but these are just big picture, some tips that you can run with today. Tip number 1, don't discount niche marketing if you want to get sales. If you don't want to get sales, that's fine. And I mean that sincerely. There's lots of designs I upload onto Redbubble, and I'm just like, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just throwing a dart at a dartboard. But if you want to fill a niche, you got to go hunt down the niches. And that means you're going to have to make some stuff you probably don't really want to make. Tip number 2, if you're not making enough sales and you feel like you could be doing better, ask yourself, is the quality of your design legitimately the best in the space? And if it's not, then you may need to research how to make better designs. And that means maybe investing in Photoshop or Canva, maybe looking at some software solutions, maybe taking a couple courses, watching some videos on how to make better quality designs. And that's okay, because we're all learning and we're all getting better. Tip number 3 is an easy one, and you can implement this today. One of the reasons you may not be selling on Redbubble is you simply don't have enough variance in your designs. And what I mean by that is, if you come up with a black and white design, flip it. Have a black and white design and a white and black design. Flip the text. If you've got a pink design, make it a green design and upload all of them. Make them slightly different. So if I really like your design and I go, I just wish it was pink font instead of white. That's the difference between you making a sale and not making a sale, is you just didn't upload a second or a third or a 10th design. That's an easy win. So I hope you guys found that helpful. A little bit of a deep dive here about the psychology of expectation and about what you can do today and long term to increase sales and ultimately make yourself happier, because this is why you're doing all this work, is so you can have a better life for yourself. And there's no worse feeling than doing all this work and then you're still not happy at the end of the day, right? So I hope you guys found this helpful, provided some value for you today. If you like what you heard today, by all means, hit that like button. I really appreciate your feedback, questions, comments, that sort of thing. I actually really enjoy reading the comments. So, if you want to leave a comment, wonderful, no obligation, of course. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.